let's look at what's happening with our young people and love. The stories are scary. We hear that today there's no honesty, there's no integrity when it comes to love, there's no honor. Love has become lust and it's just hit and run. The ladies are lying to the guys are lying to the girls. What's happening with modern day love?
Mike, this question is very complex because
Mm.
modern day love
Mm.
in itself is complex.
Mm.
People are having different labels for relationships these days.
Okay.
Speak to that.
Very, very different labels.
Mm.
Some people call it situationships. Some
Hey,
call it entanglement.
I haven't heard that before.
Yes,
Situationships.
Situationships.
So they are in a situation.
Yeah,
They are not in a
not
relationship.
in a relationship.
Wow.
Some call it entanglement. So it's multiple people.
Oh.
And
Spider's web.
exactly. And then we have like the traditional one where there's just one or two people
Oh, okay.
who are passionate about each other. So these days is very complex. But the thing with modern day love is that the youth of today are not being, like you said, they are not being truthful,
Mm.
and we are not willing to commit to the relationship or commit to the journey of the relationship.
That's right.
People are not willing to want to dedicate that time or that energy, that frame of mind towards whoever they are with. So I just want to be with you just for probably the physical or sexual benefits. But aside that, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to have any form of lasting memories or bonding with you. So back in the day when our parents used to love, you could see, oh, they go on dates, they have hangouts, activities. Why?
I want to know how many dates you've seen your parents go on.
Oh, a lot of time they go on dates. Normally every month, like there's one date or there's something. There's a
Yeah,
hangout.
but our parents didn't need to go on dates. They had funerals.
Yeah.
So,
Aha.
yeah,
Weddings and naming ceremonies and stuff like that.
When there's a funeral.
But these days, no one is truthful. No one wants to show their true feelings because
Yeah.
they feel if I show you my true feelings, you hurt me, and I'm not ready to go through that pain. So if I don't want the pain, then I just need to show you what you need to see. That is the fact that okay, you want this, I also want this. Let's just get on with it and forget about the mushy one, the relation, the feelings. No, that one is not
The commitment.
the commitment,
Yeah.
the
But
dedication.
Rishka, what's accounting for that? Why are we afraid to commit? And so then, because we are afraid to commit and honor, we are both cheating each other, and then we both end up hurting each other. Why? What's happening?
A lot of people tend to associate it with trauma of the past. Some
Okay.
say they didn't see their parents, be affectionate towards each other. That's why I asked him how many ladies he's seen his parents go
All
to. I come from an away home, right? And the kind of affection we used to see our parents do is when your dad comes up from work and your mom cooks him some nice akple and abobitaji.
That's right.
And then he's eating, and then your mom comes to sit and say, "Elfo, we don't know what happened today." Then the gossip starts, That's the kind of affection we saw.
Yeah. But that's good though. There was a relationship, so
Yes.
it wasn't just physical.
Yes.
But they actually were buddies.
Yes.
They could gossip and chat.
Yes. So it's actually leading somewhere, what I'm saying.
Alright.
So that's my home. I was fortunate enough to see that. I was also fortunate enough to come from a home where my dad would basically hug us and kiss us and tell you I love you and things like that.
Oh.
Some people didn't have that.
Yeah.
Some people grew up with their parents yelling at each other, shouting at each other,
Yeah.
and that's the idea of family or relationships they saw growing up. And unfortunately, even though we live in an information era, a lot of people are not open to learn. There's this post I saw on Instagram recently that said, oh, people say that, the reason I'm not able to love is because I didn't see my parents doing it. This is it. And the person goes ahead to ask, who taught you how to do doggy? Who told you how to pin people's children to the wall? And like that really got me thinking. I'm like, most of the excuses we give for this kind of things are inconsequential.
That's right.
In my opinion, because we live in an information era. The way you learn bad things, your parents didn't teach you how to smoke. So then, if you say you didn't see your parents, loving each other and things like that, you have social media, you've watched movies, you've read books. So it's not really an excuse, but people tend to use it as an excuse. Another reason is the fear, that he's
Of
talking about.
commitment.
Fear of commitment and fear of getting hurt. But then at the end of the day, love is not love if there's no risk. Just like a good business investment. Without risk, there are no returns. And whether or not you have as he said, now we have different kinds of relationships. One you forgot was friends with benefits.
Yeah, it's very
That's
common
one.
these days.
So we have the entanglements like we saw with the Will Smith and the Jaders. We have the situationships where two people kind of like each other, but they can't seem to define what exactly it is. They don't have a vision for their relationship, and most of us young people, we lack vision in a lot of things, in relationships, in our careers, in a lot of things. We lack vision, so they can't seem to put a label on it that okay, this is where we want to go and this is what we are working towards. I think that's a situationships.
Situationship.
Yes, and
Friends with benefits.
friends with benefits is basically a sexual thing.
I thought like shito. You
Oh
take
no
shito,
no no no
Gary,
no no no.
You collect Gary from the
No,
person.
I mean some people also have that one where it's more like sex
Material.
and material,
Okay.
but mostly friends with benefits are mostly just sexual relationship. One person doesn't want to date, one person doesn't want to date. Oh, but we are sexually attracted to each other, so let's just get on with it.
Oh.
But at the end of the day, you see, God has a mysterious way of going around things. No matter how you play around it, God's mandate to mankind is love. So no matter how you go around it, one person will end up catching feelings, and then everything will just pascal. So at the end of the day, you think you're harming each other or you're lying to yourselves. But see, nature has a beautiful way of working things out, and you end up going like, either one person will wake up and be like, oh, I actually like this person, I want to commit. Or one person will wake up and be like, oh, I really like you. And in some cases, rarely would you see the two people saying that, oh, I think we can, be committed or we can be exclusive. And that's one word too our generation doesn't like to use. Exclusivity. No. We don't like it. We want to be, we call it a shower season. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
No, tell me more. A shower season.
A shower season,
It's
yes.
an
What's
thing
that?
now.
Yes.
It's an in thing.
Yeah.
Amongst who?
Among the youth. And they wear proudly like a badge.
What happens during the season?
So it's basically like a season of sowing your wild oats. So you are sexually like liberated. You are free to do stuff you want to
Whoa.
do before you're actually ready to probably settle
Commit.
down. So you give yourself say 5 years, 10 years.
Hey,
It's a shower
just calm
season.
down.
Some people okay.
10 years for a shower season.
I know people. I catch him and say he wants to do 10 years.
Oh, his vision must be great.
Oh.
Just to be around, experience
Play
life.
around, sow your wild oats.
Yes, so wild oats.
And then when you finish,
Yes.
you will now go and catch feelings
Yes.
and marry somebody's daughter.
Yes.
Wow.
It's an in thing now.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we are hearing things around friends with benefits, situationships, lack of commitment, past trauma,
Yeah.
interfering with the way people, are seeing relationships of today. Yes,
One thing
Ernest.
I want to add is you see the young people don't really know what how do I put it, love or relationship is. They just see someone, they be like, oh, I like this guy. The guy also says, oh, I like you. Then they don't know what they are doing. They just end up, because I see most of my friends will be posting their boyfriends and things. Then the next moment they'll be like, and this boy, he doesn't post me, and this and that. I'll be like, what's all this problem that you don't know what you were entering into? You don't know the guy, but you just decided to. So even they don't really get to know each other, and these are some of the things that you need to be intentional about. That I'm going into this for this. I'm not just going into it because I just like the person.
So if I'll summarize, what you are telling me is that one, people or the youth of today don't understand relationships. They are afraid to commit because of past trauma
Yeah.
that they haven't dealt with.
Correct.
And then because of that, they then give themselves excuses.
Yes.
And so, he will play me, so me to make a player.
Yeah, that's all.
And then that is giving expression in situationships,
Yes.
friends with benefits, And then what's the other one?
Entanglement.
And a shower season.
And now there
God have
are
mercy.
even one-offs we call hookups. So I just meet
Hookups?
you. Yes, there are one-offs we call hookups. So I meet you, we do what we have to do, and that's all.
And most of the time it happens using total strangers.
Yes.
What?
Total
And-
strangers.
And their
And-
applications.
Yeah, we have
the
apps
front
that
end,
actually, yeah.
the
Yes.
front end
We have
designer. Tell
Tinder.
us.
We have Tinder that.
An app.
Yeah.
I'm sure he worked on
For
Tinder.
hookup.
we have Tinder, we have Judel. Mentioned there are lots of them.
So what, you just go on the
know
app
the-
and
yeah,
tell
just-
somebody I want to hook up.
Yeah,
So you
and
see
that's
the
all.
picture, and if you match, then you just.
And go and meet somewhere.
Yes.
But
So,
before we put the blame on Tinder, though, you know, just like how do I put it? You know how you create something and you purpose it for good,
Yeah.
and then people mispurpose it or
Yes,
misuse
that's
it.
right.
That's the classic idea of Tinder.
Yes.
Tinder is a relationships website or app.
It's a dating app,
It's a dating app basically designed to make like-minded people meet. So at the end of the day, you're looking for love. I'm looking for love, and you know, with our current social situations, a lot of people are putting so much of their life into their work. They barely have time to
That's right.
date
Yeah.
physically.
Yeah.
So they tend to go on this website to find love. Now our generation is not like, it's easy. Let me be creative. So when you go on Tinder, you see the people who are looking for love, and you see those who are looking for hookup.
Whoa.
And I tried Tinder sometime myself out of boredom. Basically, I was bored, and I signed up for Tinder. And I wasn't even in Accra, so I was at a place where I didn't have friends and family and things. So like, okay, let's explore, right? And then I started meeting on Tinder, and one question I realized most of the guys were asking me was, why are you on Tinder? Because they see the pictures I post there, and I'm all covered up, and I'm like, I'm a sapiosexual. If you don't have brains, don't talk to me. And they ask me, so why are you here? Like, it's and I'm like, I'm bored. I just want to talk to people. I just want to make friends and network. And God being so good, I've had some really sensible people that are now like my good friends in real life from Tinder, and there's some who I just block because I don't have time for. So it's the app is there. Is what you choose to
That's
purpose
right.
it
It's
for.
an instrument.
Yes,
And with
that
all
would serve
instruments,
you
it can be used or abused.
exactly.
So Ghanaian young people are abusing
A
Tinder,
lot.
It's not just
And using
Ghanaians
it
though,
for-
Africans and
using
even
it
the
for
whole
the
world
world.
now.
using it for hookups.
Yes.
Wow.
Total
But we,
strangers.
you know,
Wow.
you know what happens with these apps? They have an idea of like doing it for something good, but when they see the opposite side of it is rather gain traction, that is what they focus on because they are in for the money. They want to do the app just to generate money. So if let's say you come on Tinder and the pictures you are looking at are just girls that are half naked that you are clicking on, the algorithm just continue to show you pictures of girls that are half naked.
Yeah.
It won't show you pictures of girls that are
Fully covered up.
because they know you won't click. Do you get? So for you to come back to the app, that is what they'll keep feeding you.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
But
So-
that's not just for Tinder though. It's for all
Yeah,
social
so
media
all social media
platforms, even
platforms.
Instagram.
Yes. So that part also.
So as with all things, there is the design, the intent and purpose, and then there's the user experience.
Exactly.
And for us, we are turning the user experience into something else completely. Let's look at long distance relationships.
You have to know yourself and you have to know the person, because there are some men who can't keep their things zipped. So if integrity and faithfulness is part of your relationship, however, if you know yourself and you know your partner and trust, but trust, you can trust, you know, the people who hurt you the most are those you trust, because then if you don't trust them, it won't hurt you.